I'm currently standing 3 inches behind my husband's chair, watching him sell a live stream of me sleeping. But I'm standing right here. They say you can tell a lie is being told not by what a person says, but by how they breathe. My husband, David, used to breathe like a man at peace. Deep, rhythmic, heavy. But 3 months ago, that changed. It started with a click. Not the front door, not the back door, the guest room door, at the end of the hallway. A room we hadn't used since my mother stayed with us 2 years ago. David told me he needed a sanctuary for his late-night Zoom calls with the London office. He said he didn't want his late-night typing to wake me up. But you don't lock a door to keep sound out. You lock a door to keep a secret in. At first, I played the part of the dutiful wife. I made him coffee at 11 p.m. and left it outside the door. I'd knock softly. "It's here, honey," I'd say. And from behind the heavy oak, I'd hear his voice. It sounded strained, like he was running a marathon while sitting still.
Thanks, Sarah. Don't wait up. This deal is a monster.
But I started noticing things. The deal didn't have a name. His phone, which used to live on the nightstand, was now a permanent fixture in his pocket. And then there was the smell. It wasn't perfume. It was something worse. It was the smell of humidity, like the room was being steamed. One night, I stood outside that door for an hour. I pressed my ear to the wood until my skin felt cold. And then I heard it. A giggle. It wasn't a Zoom call. It wasn't a business meeting. It was a sound that made the blood in my veins turn to slush. It was the sound of a woman. I didn't confront him. Not yet. I've learned that if you flush a rat out too early, it just finds a better hole to hide in. I waited until he went for his morning run. I ran to the guest room. I grabbed the handle. Locked. He'd taken the key with him. I felt a surge of heat crawl up my neck. I went to his office in the basement, the one he used to use. I tore through the drawers. I wasn't looking for a key. I was looking for a reason. I found a shoebox hidden behind a stack of old tax returns. Inside, not letters, not photos, a wig. Long, blonde, synthetic hair that felt like dead grass between my fingers. And a receipt for a high-end surveillance camera, purchased 4 months ago. I sat on the floor, the blonde hair tangled in my rings, and I realized David wasn't just having an affair. He was building something. That night, I didn't make the coffee. I didn't knock. I waited until 2 a.m. I took a screwdriver from the garage and I walked to that door. My heart was a hammer against my ribs. I didn't go for the lock. I went for the hinges. One by one, I tapped the pins out. The door was free. I leaned my weight against it, and it drifted open with a groan that sounded like a scream. The room was dark except for the blue glow of 4 massive monitors. David was sitting in the center of the room, his back to me. He was wearing a headset, and on the screens, it wasn't adult content, which I initially thought. It wasn't another woman. It was me. 4 different angles of our bedroom. One of the kitchen, one of the shower, and on the bed in the guest room lay the blonde wig, arranged on a pillow to look like a person was sleeping there. David didn't even turn around. He just whispered into his microphone.
She's at the door now. Watch her face. Watch how her eyes go wide.
My breath hitched. I looked at the bottom of the screens. There was a chat box. Thousands of messages scrolling so fast I couldn't read them. Does she know? Give her the key, David. I bet she tastes like salt when she cries. He wasn't just watching me. He was selling me. He had turned our marriage into a 24-hour reality show for a dark corner of the internet. The guest room wasn't his sanctuary. It was his control room. He finally turned around. His eyes were bloodshot, sunken. He looked like he hadn't slept in years. He held out his hand. In his palm was the guest room key.
They paid for the finale tonight, Sarah. They want to see what happens when the bird realizes it's in a cage.
I looked at the camera hidden in the smoke detector. I didn't scream. I didn't run. I walked over to David, took the key from his hand, and I did the only thing that would ruin his rating. And then I smashed the monitor. But as the screens went black, I heard a sound from the hallway. A voice called out. A voice that sounded exactly like mine. David? Honey, I'm home from my sister's. Did you miss me? I looked at the man in the chair. Then I looked at the door. If that was me coming home, then who have I been for the last 3 months?